I'm live, you're live, and here we are. This is just wonderful. I want to thank you for coming out on this beautiful, beautiful evening here in the Northwest. We have rare ones, and here we are at the solstice, the beginning of summer, and for us the beginning of summer is, this late in June, and it was glorious. This whole weekend has been glorious. We've been down by the boat yard, and we went to the farmer's market and all of those wonderful things to launch the summer and say yes to this summer. So welcome, and if you're viewing, I really encourage you to post questions on the question and answer thing. You just type them in and they'll come to my bar and I can read them and I will hope to answer them. Our work tonight is about getting what you really want. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So, welcome. My name is Kate Bowditch. I am a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I practice here in Everett, Washington. There's part of my office you can see with the piles of books and strange things on the wall, which sort of go along with people in my trade. I have a private practice and I'm available online. So right about here, somewhere down here, is my phone number, my name. Be sure to write that down. And if you put my name, Kate Bowditch, and then add .com, you'll get to my website and where I post things on turning ever towards happiness. So welcome. Let's get going. We're going to start with getting what we really want. And the downside of that is getting stuck. So we're going to spend this time on this business of being stuck, getting stuck, knowing that you're stuck, getting unstuck, starting the wheels again. I'm going to be really working on this idea of getting what you really want over several hangouts, because I think it's very, very odd that we think we know what we want, and many of us will work very hard for a while, and then something sort of happens, and it sort of fades away. And so I want to just talk about that, because that's not terribly uncommon. So if this has ever happened to you, let me know. Put some questions in the thing there. And as I was thinking about this issue tonight, I was thinking about the story of the frog in the pot. And it's lukewarm water, and the frog is very happy. And the master comes by and he turns the heat up 1 degree at a time. And the water gets warmer. And the frog gets used to it and swims around inside this pot, and degree by degree, the pot gets hotter and hotter until the frog is cooked. Now, that's kind of what happens, when you're all charged up and you're moving forward and things are happening and you're making the progress and it's really great. You don't suddenly wake up not doing anything. You keep moving. But what happens is somehow for many of us, something starts to slow down. This little thing didn't work. Things kind of quietly drift to a halt. And that's when you do wake up and you go, where did it go? I thought I was doing what I wanted to do. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? I'd rather go lie on the beach or play games on my computer all day, or get on the phone or text all my friends and spend all day on Facebook, on the one where all the little happy squares full of comments go by and you can put comments on with no real commitment to anything. And that's fine for a day or so. Sometimes that happens. It's natural. It's a natural part of the natural cycle. People get all freaked out over postpartum depression. They call it postpartum depression, as if there's something wrong with the mother for not being so jolly about having a baby. But in fact, you've spent 9 months with every single waking and sleeping and resting and moving moment of your life, creating another little human being. It's a huge creative effort. And it ends with this enormous thing we call labor and birthing this baby. And you give the baby away. I mean, the father gets him, and everybody's also happy about the dad, and maybe you get a few presents, and maybe you get to repaint one of the rooms in your house. But you know in your heart of hearts that you don't own that baby anymore. It belongs to the world. And there's this sense of loss over that. And your body's tired. It's tired. It's no longer doing all of that work. But it doesn't get to rest, because guess what wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning demanding all the food and changing and everything. So it's very natural to become sort of disillusioned or tired, or, you know, what happened to my body? I thought it was my body, but it's not my body. It's this other strange business going on. So these are very true, and I often wonder with the guys, many of the guys coming back from warfare, they've come back from this huge effort. And yeah, there's a parade and, you know, a few things like that, but that doesn't last very long, and they can do nothing as grand that will earn them that again, except to re-enlist. And many of them do, for many reasons, but that may be one of them, is that there is this sense of huge creativity, huge commitment, that when it's lifted, we call it depression, and I that's kind of too bad, because I think it's more like I need to just reorganize. You know, who am I? What am I about? What am I doing here? So these are just thoughts in my mind to think about the natural cycle of the huge creativity and then the fallback. The creativity and the fallback. It's a little like in the spring you get floods in the river, in the fall the rivers are low. Nobody gets upset about it. It's just the way it is. It's always been that way. It's always going to be that way. However, what happens when the river doesn't fill? What happens when the reservoir runs dry and nothing's happening? You know, what happens when you wake up day after day after day and you had a project, you had a sort of a thing you were working on in life, and it's either sliding away or you find yourself procrastinating, you're tired all the time, you're not making decisions, you're not moving forward, and you can hear yourself saying, yeah, but. Yeah, I really should be doing that today, but, you know, gosh, we get so few of these glorious days outside. Maybe I'll just go fishing, you know. Yeah, I really need to go to that workshop, but gosh, the lawn's kind of long. Maybe I'll mow the lawn today instead. These are the things that begin to raise their head, and you think, well, I don't know what else to do to make it better. Don't know what else to do to make it come alive again. And that's when you can say, yeah, I'm getting kind of stuck. We were just with some friends who had been hiking, and they spoke about hiking up a long trail in which there had been a lot of rain, and the only place to walk on the trail was knee-deep in mud. And I mean, that's the kind of thing that drives me crazy, but I've been there. I know what that feeling is. What do I do about that? I don't want to be like the frog. He says, yeah, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about that, because that frog needs a little bell, and the bell needs to go off in his head that says, whoops, I'm getting a little too warm. I like it warm, but this is too warm. So here we are. We're slogging along in ankle-deep mud. This is difficult. So when you get there, and we do get there, we all get there, what do we do? And one of those do's, and I'm just going to take you right through a series of things. I hope you have a notebook and a pen and a piece of paper handy, because I want to come back and process what you've done in the week. Next week. I'll be back next week, same time. And let's process what you've done in that week, and certainly come back to me. My email is the first letter of my name here, and then it's kbowditch60@gmail.com. Go ahead and write to me. So it's kbowditch60@gmail.com. And I'm collecting these. I'm collecting the questions and the difficulties of being stuck. So let's start with, what is your vision? What really are you doing, whatever it is that you're doing? Why are you doing it? You know, why are you in college? Why are you in graduate school? Why are you working 80 hours a week at fill in the blank? The why. And it isn't, we're gonna dodge the easy one. It's not about let's make a lot of money. That's actually a lot of money. If you start off at $10,000 a year, is $15,000 a year. If you're starting at $30,000, a lot of money might be $60,000. So that's so relative, it doesn't make sense. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go back, take your piece of paper and pencil, and say, really and truly, what do you want? Because you can't get it unless you know what it is. I think of a 6 or 7-year-old. When you ask them what they want for Christmas, I don't know too many kids who say, gee, whatever you want to give me. Oh, they got a list as long as their arm. I need a bike, I need some Legos, I need some Nintendos, I need, big long list. They'll hand it to you with joy in their eyes. So, so what do you want? Really? What is that money going to do for you? What will it provide for you? If you had a wagon and a steep hill and one of your wheels broke, money isn't going to do you any good. You need a wheel. And I want you to think about that. So what do you want? And that goes way across the top of your page. That's your vision. That's the long term. Now, I went to college because I was going to be an archaeologist. Well, that took me about a semester to figure out, I'm not going to be an archaeologist. I didn't really like the people, and I really didn't want to be an archaeologist. So I had to change my vision. Well, yes, that's the best thing about a vision, is that you can add to it, take away, I remember longing to live in the very northern forest uppest part of the mountains of the Cascades on the Montana border, or even up in, no, not now. No. So these visions will change over time. So put a vision down for yourself that's really kind of long-term, fuzzy-wuzzy around the edges. But when you do it, what's the temperature? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? Now, that's an odd thing to think about, but for me, it's got to be inclusive of a lot of outdoor air. I need to smell the outdoors. It's very deep in my bones that I need that. All the money in the world, a great big beautiful house, I have to have access to outdoor air. So my vision is going to have a big smell component. It's going to be the air and the richness of the earth and the smell of the greenery or the ocean or whatever. So you're going to put that down. What are you looking at in your vision? And if you're not sure, just think of the colors. What sort of colors would you like to be what does your environment look like? For some people, it might be symphonies and operas and all the lushness that goes along with that, with the incredible places inside of theaters. Whatever. If that's your vision, that's wonderful. If your vision is saving animals of some kind, or being able to support rescue operations of any kind, write that down. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. It can be as selfish as you want. It can be as grand as you want. It can be as outgoing as you want. So when you've done that and you've really spent some time on it, you might even have, what are you eating? Are you still eating peanut butter sandwiches, or are you able to go out for good steak at least 3 nights a week and really enjoy taking a nice picnic basket that's somebody else has made, perhaps, to the shore, to the park, to the mountains, taking your family to Disneyland and getting the goodies that they sell there at outrageous prices. Wonderful. Put it in there. So you have some of the senses, the smells and the sounds. What does it sound like in this wonderful vision of yours? And that vision may be that what you want every day to look like, or it may be just what you want overall. So there's that. Now, that's a vision. And underneath your vision, supporting it, we're sort of building our house from the roof down, which is exactly opposite to the way many people build houses. But we're building a dream house. We're building a functional dream house for you to help you get out of the pot. Because the frog is in the water and there's nothing to do for him but swim. That's all he knows how to do is swim. And so he's swimming, and it's not getting him anywhere. So your vision for the frog could be, I need a lily pad. I need a lily pad. That may be his vision. So underneath the roof of your vision are 3 goals. Now, I spent a lot of time in my early career on the whole vision objective thing, and some people get off on goals, and they really like to have lots of them. I figured that wasn't so good for me anyway. Too many goals, and I'm just posed. I go out and sit in the backyard again. Are you recommending I imagine a better future in all my senses? What if that just makes me feel bad about how hard it is? Is it hard to go to sleep at night and dream well? No. It's okay to dream your best vision. Because then and only then can you begin to move forward towards it. If your best vision is where you are, you don't need to watch this video. And do you have to feel bad about where you are? No. You may have worked very hard to be right where you are. And good for you. Maybe times came and hit you sideways and put you where you are. But you're there, and good for you. And you're still optimistic. You still think, well, I can do this. Somewhere in your mind. You can have a better future, because the future is coming no matter what. Because we're already in the future from when I started this hangout. If you think about it, I'm already in my future. I'm having this hangout with all these nice people, and that didn't exist 30 minutes ago. So I'm creating my future every single day, every single breath I take. Because the future's coming, how do I want it to look for me? If I make a sandwich and it's a gorgeous day, do I want to sit inside or do I want to go outside? I can create 30 minutes of my future exactly the way I want it. And then it starts to pile up. And I can spend the whole summer indoors and then have a boo-hoo ceremony at the end because I didn't get out all summer long. Or I can go outside. And at the end of the summer, I will think, wow, that was a beautiful summer. I spent a lot of time outdoors. Now, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and of course, my outdoors may be a 15-minute break in the rain or the clouds or whatever, but by gum, that's me. I'm outdoors when it's nice as much as possible. Talking to our friends last night, one said, yeah, retirement, ooh, I can hardly wait. I can go hiking whenever I want, not just on weekends. And yeah, you deserve that. You deserve that. So goals for your vision. A goal is something to shoot towards, to look towards, to work for, that supports your vision. Part of my vision, if it includes a house with windows open all year round, one of my goals should really be that I'm looking at real estate in a somewhat warmer, drier area that doesn't have these hard driving cold winters. So that would be a goal. One goal is that I will begin looking for real estate that supports my vision of being where I can open the windows all year round. Do I not like it here? No, I love it here. This is a magnificent place to live. And I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere in my life, in this house. But I wasn't born here. I don't have to die here. I have choices. And I can move on. Maybe I'll stay. Maybe I'll make enough that I can move back and forth. I don't know that yet, but my goal is to be in a place where I can leave my windows open. So that's goal number 1. And goal number 3, now we'll come back to 2, but number 3, see, we can lay the goals out linearly, holding up this vision, or we can lay them down sequentially, that once I've hit this one, then I do this one, and then I do this one. That's up to you, either way. And so goal number 3 for me might be that I have X amount of income at a certain place. I might put mine sequentially, just for the fun of it. I tend to not do that, but for this, I'll do it sequentially. So my first goal will be to have an income that truly supports my vision, so that once I've met that goal, I'm going to move that up. That's goal number 2. Goal number 1 is to move forward in my business to such a degree that I have a good, strong working team to help me work in my business so that I can make the income, so that I can look for property, so that I can have this vision, this part of the vision of being in a place where the climate is supportive of me. So those are those goals. And each of your goals can have 3 or 4 objectives. Now, objectives are pretty specific. So my first one is to get this team. Okay, I've kind of stuck my neck out here. I'm going to even write this down. I've got the team supporting the income, supporting the real estate, and that goal, I'm not even 100% sure of that, because I could do this a lot by just traveling. So it might be travel, and I'm gonna write that down with my boxes kind of interlocking. It might be travel and it might be real estate. I'm not sure yet, because I hadn't really thought about that one, very frankly. And this is what's so fun about this, is you work it out, and then you think about it for a while, and you think, nah, I want it better. I want to do it better. You can always upgrade. You can always upgrade your vision. You can always upgrade your goals. Your objectives have to be pretty specific. So your objectives for goal number 1 have time, they have quantity, and they're measurable. Now, all of this is about, if you're stuck, it's really hard to even think about this, but if you're stuck, this is the one thing you do need to do, is you need to really rethink about all of these things. So an objective can be that by the 3rd of August, I will have 3 people on my team who are 100% behind the vision of my company. Now, this vision that I've been talking about here is my personal vision. So, well, that's measurable. I'll either have it or not. And that'll be kind of embarrassing if I don't, but here we are. I'm out and I'm public now, and here we go. I'm going to do that. I'm going to have 3 members by the 3rd, what did I say, the 3rd of August? That'll do. I'm going to have 3 people on my team. There, I've said it. Now I'm going to move forward. So each one of your goals needs a few objectives that will support those goals. And again, if your goals are sequential, start here, and then what would happen if you met number 1? What would the goal number 2, how would you reach that? Goal number 3, how would you reach that? It's a little bit like making jam. You don't start with jam. You start with making a decision about what kind of jam you're going to make. You got to go get the berries. You got to have a pot. You got to have a way to cook them. Sterilize the jars. Oops, did you get the jars? These are all the things that are in a recipe, and that's basically what this is. We're making a recipe for action. It's not a recipe for your life. It's not a recipe for how to make your mother love you or be proud of you. It's not a recipe for how to have all your neighbors think you're swell. But it is a recipe for action towards what you really want. And coming to that, what you really want, is crucial. It is at the basis sometimes. Sometimes we get stuck when we are not courageous enough to say, I know I've been working on it a long time, but that's not what I want. I want something different. So here we go. For your objectives, are the parts of your goals like the steps in the staircase of your goal? Yes. I use recipes because I've cooked a lot, but yes, you're taking the small steps that you know, you can see them, you can look at them, and even if you go up 2 steps and turn around and look down, you can say, hot diggity, I made 2 steps today. And I'm going to tell you an interesting piece, which is that I began my life after getting out of college and realizing that college hadn't taught me one mumbling word about how to run a business, and I was really keenly aware of the fact that I did not have a clue what to do. So I went back to school because I kind of knew how to do that, and I became a special education teacher. And you know, there are people who are going to be faster, better, richer, more than you every day. And you are faster, better, richer, more than somebody else every day. Every day. And who cares? What we care about is what you are doing. how you were feeling, what progress you were making. And it says, sounds like the giant steps, baby steps game without the mother may I. Right. There ain't no mother may I in this. Mom and dad have nothing to do with it. Sisters and brothers, they may pull you down. Uncle Bubba, he may have other plans for you. Aunt Maisie may think you're a hopeless case and you're lost. Who cares? You are the only you that you have. And you are the only you that the world knows about you. And you have that right to be the best you that you know you can be, whatever that looks like. Whatever that looks like. So you see people zooming by you, wave. You see people down below you, wave to them too. Give them encouragement. Because there ain't no mother may I. You're it. And so you might redefine your vision, which will, of course, require you to redefine your goals and your steps, which may give you that charge that you need to kind of get up and get moving. You may decide you've kind of been doing something that you really didn't like to do. I mean, I kind of went through college starting off in archaeology. I wound up in art. It was all familial stuff, family stuff. It had nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. And isn't that too bad? And then I spent most of my career kind of hiding what I did from my family because I know that they didn't get it. They didn't want to know, really, what I was doing and how I was doing it. I did all right. I've done fine. I'm still alive. I eat well. Life is good. I have a nice, but I'm not going to put it down yet. And I realized I've been kind of stuck. And I'm going to pick up these pieces again, and I'm going to set down some goals and objectives. Because I do have a vision, and visions don't come by themselves. They just float around, waiting for somebody to claim them. But they don't come by themselves. So, for your entertainment and delight, if you go back through my videos and watch the series on making a vision board, you might want to do that and just put your objectives and your visions all over that board so that you look at it, and you'll see what I mean by that when you look at those YouTube videos. Just go to my channel, which is Kate Bowditch, and take a look at those videos, and it might help you to make a vision board. What do you really want? What do you want? Little kids say, well, I want to be famous. Well, if you're not famous and you're watching this, that's because it didn't happen. But that's okay. You are where you are. And a lot of the world isn't where you are. So I want to just give you some credit for that, you are where you are. Doesn't matter where you are. You're there. And you can move forward towards something that you really want. Something that really fits you better. And I encourage you to do that. I'll be back next week to think about some of our progress, and we're going to go even more deeply into the writing of objectives and goals and creating that vision again, because you deserve it. And the world needs you. It needs you to have a vision, and it needs you to have a dream, and it needs you to work on that, because you are the world. So, baby steps, big steps, giant leaps, however you want to do it, let's go for it. I thank you for coming. Do go to my blog, which is katebowditch.com, and read around in there. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. I cheer you on. I'm definitely a one-man band or one-lady band as far as cheering you on is concerned. And sometimes I may be the only person who's cheering you on. But I'll cheer because it's time. Thank you. We're past time. I apologize. I try to keep it 30 minutes. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.